Hey, you ever wonder why your husband or boyfriend tends to act like they've conquered the world whenever they fold the laundry or do the dishes? It's a very simple reason for that. They're looking for appreciation. Hi, I'm Christian, founder of Second Life Coaching, host of the 21st Century Men podcast, where we seek to liberate men around the world by curing their emotional constipation and reminding them of the men who they used to be so they can be that man once again. And today we're starting a brand new series. I don't know how many this is going to be on what men really want. And today's first installment is appreciation. Now, I know the common answer to the question, what do men really want, typically is sex. However, that may be on the list, but it's usually much lower on the list than a lot of people realize. What men really desire are things like respect, appreciation, admiration. Those sorts of things can feed into creating the emotional connection that makes the physical connection that much more powerful. Now, I know it's common too. You look at Facebook, you look at social media, you look at pop culture, TV and movies, and it's really a lot of fun to kind of poke fun at guys who act like they've saved the world whenever they put their dishes in the dishwasher. That's dangerous. That's dangerous to your relationship, and I'll explain here why. For most guys, we've always been the hunter-gatherer provider, stereotype, archetype. That's what we do. It's in our DNA. It's pounded into us by culture, by society, by everything else, by our parents and our grandparents, and through generations and generations and millennia of human existence. The man is to be the hunter-gatherer, the provider, the security, I guess, of um, any relationship, the house, the home front, the household, what have you. And one of the ways that most of us men show the people that we care about them, that we love them, is through acts of service. And if you haven't checked out the love languages, the 5 love languages, I would highly suggest that. It's on the web, you can Google it, and I'll put it also on the link at the bottom. We show that we care about you care about others by the things that we do. Acts of service. Um, Most of us men are not real good with words. We're not really good with expressing our feelings, our emotions, unless there is a intimacy that is deep enough and that is safe enough for us to be vulnerable. So what we tend to do most of the time is to do things around the house, around the yard, what have you. We do those things that are typically not considered to be, the man's duties. And fair or not, that's kind of the way it's looked at. So when we do those things and we come out like a celebration, like we've done that, and we tell you that we've done these small things, the best way to strengthen your relationship is to say thank you, to tell us that you appreciate it, instead of the more knee-jerk response of asking, well, that's great, what do you want, a medal or a chest to pin it on? Because when a man doesn't feel appreciated for doing those sorts of things, you're telling him that him showing you that he cares about you by doing these sorts of things is not welcome, that you don't, you're not thankful for the things that he does. The male ego is a very fragile thing. And despite popular opinion of men supposedly being the strong, rub some dirt on it and get over it kind of personality, once we're in a relationship and we've developed a sense of closeness, of intimacy, of vulnerability. We open ourselves, that very, very sensitive segment of ourselves that we don't allow anybody else to really kind of see. And by poking fun or making sarcastic remarks about us wanting appreciation for the things that we do, even though you would think that they're kind of just the stuff you do, it hurts. And it's damaging to the relationship, and it can cause your guy to turtle up, poke his head, withdraw back in his shell. And eventually, with enough examples, situations where he doesn't feel appreciated for doing that, or poked fun at for being celebratory over even what you would consider to be a simple thing, your guy is going to stop doing those. He's going to stop doing those little acts of service. He's going to stop, just being expressive through that way. Expressing his care, his love, his admiration, his with you. And eventually you're going to be left thinking, well, why doesn't he do those sorts of things? Doesn't he know that, I want him to do those things? But you have to remember, if you poked fun at him or you haven't said, appreciated the times he has done it, that kind of falls on you. And I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds simplistic. It sounds silly to a point, but it's not. There's a real danger. There's a real chance to build intimacy and closeness and strengthen your relationship, and there's also a chance to damage it beyond repair based on the way you respond to the way your guy does these sorts of things. And I understand it goes both ways, but this video is about what men really want, and maybe perhaps in another time we'll get to the flip around, the reverse of it. So the next time your guy decides to do something, and he does something that is not within his normal routine, his normal list of responsibilities, or if he goes out of his way to, say, bring you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, say, don't worry about it, I've got it, and take care of something, take your dish, from the table and put it in the dishwasher. Those little tiny acts of service, remember, are him showing you that he loves you and he cares about you. And he's looking to be appreciated for what he brings to the table. And by showing you how much he cares about you, by doing those little things, appreciation and acknowledgement is all he's looking for. To be appreciated for doing those things and be acknowledged that it's his way of showing you that he cares about you. So that's it for this video. The next one's going to be great. It's going to be about respect, and that one's going to go a bit deeper into a lot of things. And so enjoy the rest of your time. If you liked it, please subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. This is going to be great. You're going to love this. Check out Second Life Coaching on Facebook, on the interwebs, and also the 21st Century Man podcast on Google Play Music, or on iTunes, or anywhere else you get your podcast love from. So until next time, this is Christian, founder of Second Life Coaching, host of the 21st Century Man podcast, saying, appreciate your guy when he does the little things that he does. Trust me, it'll do wonders for your relationship. And that is step one in what your man really wants.